Oh yeah, because it has to congeal.
Yeah, and he says, well, then all of a sudden he decided he was going to go to the casino, so he actually left without eating. But I figured then we could eat like normal people. We could have lasagna, we could have some salad.
Yeah.
Never works out like that anymore.
Well, he's lucky he has a wife that cooks, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Sally doesn't cook.
Mm-hmm.
She made this SOS, and it's one thing I've been trying to get her to make.
Where do you find this Hormel, the one in the jars anymore? Toby Hannah's the only place I know I could get it.
What, SOS?
Yeah, the dried beef in a jar. That's the best one.
No, the one you make is the best one. And her...
You mean with the ground beef? Dad makes it with the ground beef.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it with the dried beef.
Oh, like,
With the little flakes
frizzled
of
beef, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it's so hard to find a good one, like when you buy it in the store and they shave it off for you. I like the Hormel one, but I can't find it. It's not cheap, but it's good. You always have to run some hot water over that to take some of the salt out of it.
Well, I don't like that. I like the hamburger.
Okay, I like the hamburger one too.
One stupid little meal I taught her to cook, okay? 2 years I'm working on this. A cup of tea was 3 months, okay? No, it was more like 6 months, okay? And I would trap her, like in the kitchen, with the teapot boiling, okay? And be in her way, like and have the cup and the tea on the counter, alright? Trying to get her to make me a stupid cup of tea, just to pour this. How hard is that, okay? Pathetic. Dad's in heaven, okay? You should kiss your feet, Mom, alright?
I told him that one time.
I told him that too.
Somebody said that to me. You should get down and kiss the ground she walks on.
Yep.
Well, after Dad blew up the last time, I think he might actually have regretted it. Because I came in here and I said to him, he was making these San Giuseppe cookies, like the fried donut type things. I don't know what the heck happened to them.
Yeah, they're right there.
And I thought he was making cookies. I said, you know, you're going to have to eat all of those. And I could see that he took offense at that. I could tell it. He was ready to. I could see the look on it, but all of a sudden he stopped. I thought, well, that's a new one. He actually didn't yell at me or like, come on, what's the big deal? I couldn't say, you know, you're going to have to eat all those, because he's always talking about how, you know, he's trying to lose weight and stuff like that. And he's the one that he makes. This time he made a half a batch, which was a better idea.
Well, his cholesterol's high, and that's how I get when my
Because he likes to
cholesterol's high.
blame Caesar and everybody for the reason he's fat, you know, and Fernando and Johnny. If you know, Meryl, all you have to do is say no, but you know what? He can't stand to waste food, is basically what's in him.
Yeah.
So he would always give in and eat their food too. The extras. He's bad about leftover stuff. It'll be a week old.
Yeah.
And I mean, and he doesn't take care of food. He leaves it sitting out overnight on the counters. I won't eat that stuff.
Well, I think we grew up in the country now.
I said to him, I said, Mario, you know, you have a stomach that's kind of like been adjusted to that, the diseases and things that are in food when it grows on the counter.
Yeah.
Because they didn't refrigerate things over there either. They just put a
Yeah.
little cloth on it, kept it in a cupboard. And I said, but if I would eat that stuff, it would kill me. I'm not going to eat that leftover stuff. A couple of days, you know, in the refrigerator, but not something that's been sitting out 2 days on the counter, and then you put it in the refrigerator, and you can't bear to throw it out, and then he starts yelling at everybody because we didn't eat it.
Well, that's how Janie was. Remember Christopher, when he was working with me, he's like, Parrot, you don't understand. Like, I was jealous, okay, because he had lunch. Janie made it for him. He's like, Parrot, I could die, okay? I don't know if this is poison or not, okay? I could get botulism. And then right after that, he got sick. He got that hernia. And he couldn't work anymore. I was like, oh my God. His time has come.
I remember talking to him on the phone, and he told me he was going to bring this girl home. But don't judge her, Mom. She's a really nice girl. I said, well, Christopher, if you tell me she's a nice girl, she must be, because you wouldn't be interested in anybody who wasn't a good person.
Yeah.
And I said, but I want to tell you something, Perry. Anybody who has a child, it's only human nature that they're looking for a father for that child. I says, nothing against the girl. I said, that's just the way it is. I said, so be careful. He didn't say anything. He said, do you know what I mean?
Well, I know I went through that, being divorced and running into women and just realizing they'll do anything to get out of this situation if they have kids. And it's like, I have my own kids, you know?
Yeah.
I can't be.
It's a shame. It's just, and it's nothing against them. It's just the way it is. They're kind of, looking out for, without even realizing it. They're looking for somebody else to share the burden.
That's how it is with these Chinese girls, is that now I'm going to the restaurant, I'm trying to learn Chinese. So.
What he now, is that hello?
Ni hao.
Ni hao.
Yeah, but it's ni hao.
Ni hao.
Because it's the rise and fall of your
Ni
the,
hao.
the
Yeah. It's the only one I know, ni hao.
Right, and goodbye is Xi Zhang.
Xi Zhang.
Yeah.
Xi Zhang.
Z, yeah, it's, but find it, like seeing the spelling and then seeing the pronunciation is totally different.
Okay.
And Tsitsi is thank you, okay, and Bukerchi is you're welcome.
Oh.
But anyhow, to talk to these girls is really a delicate thing because they're looking to get out, God knows what they're going through, okay? And I don't want to get involved in that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And but I bring my laptop into the restaurant, so I bring a thing of China, and I can go with Google right to their village, and then I know where they live, okay? They kind of know, okay, but seeing it on a map is like beyond them. But then again, they can speak like 3 or 4 languages, I mean, just in China, there's like 7 languages. And the one girl, like, there was 2 girls sitting next to me. And, well, there was 3 girls, like, all around me, okay? And they're all young. They're all like 18 to 25, somewhere in there. And I'm like, trying to show them what they wanted to see. And then the one girl at the end of the session, she was like, I was like, well, where do you want to go to now? Okay, on the internet. She says, I want to go to China. And I realized I was breaking her heart to show her China, because it shows buildings and it pulls up photographs. There's even like webcams of people have a camera mounted, okay, and for her, she's okay as long as she doesn't see China, okay.
And if she's a country girl, let's face it, you live a different lifestyle than in the city, and you have people and you have your area, and you love it.
Well, and also these girls, they make a deal when they're in China to work for, I think it's like 7 years.
Wow.
Okay, and that contract's good in China. Some of those girls have kids back home, so they come here and they work, at a Chinese restaurant.
And they probably got cheated on that too, huh?
Well, I don't know. I think it all works because
I like that group that up in Hazleton, that it's called the.
At the Walmart.
No, it's in where the Laurel Mall is. It's a separate
Yeah,
place
I go
by
to that
itself.
one.
That is a great. Those people there are so nice. It's a separate restaurant all by itself
Yeah.
outside. It's called the 5 Star or 5 Spices.
Yeah, it's right by the beauty shop. There's a beauty shop right next to it.
Okay, there used to be an Aldi's there too.
Yeah, right, but it's not in the mall.
No,
It's across the parking lot. Right, that's one of the ones.
That is one of, it's a wonderful restaurant. You actually would see those people sitting at the table, you didn't have to do it, making the wontons and cutting up the beans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they were always wonderful to children, but I've noticed lately now there seems to be new people now, because I think it pretty much was primarily a family that was there before, but now
Yeah.
they must be bringing in maybe other people.
Well, what they do is they have Mexicans working in the kitchen.
Oh God, that's funny.
That is so funny, because this guy, can't even speak English. He's working with, Chinese people.
Learning Chinese, I guess.
Yeah, well, the Chinese people are probably not nice to him. They work you to death. Yeah, they're very, they're hard workers.
Yeah, they are. I remember when we were in grade school, we were always having the Chinese held up as the epitome of hardworking and studying. Well, little did I know about the rest of the story of China, but everybody else in the world was working harder and smarter, and here in America, we were always dragging out the Chinese as examples of hard workers.
Oh, yeah? That's so funny, because, it's true today. I'm trying to get Emma to learn Chinese, and she's like, oh, that's so hard. But China is, like, becoming a superpower, and Everything's made in
It
China.
can't be stopped either now.
Yeah.
And you know what, it's like the fact that they have, not at war with anybody, they finally figured out, hey, you're better off at peace because you're not spending your money on weapons and your people and everything and aggravating everybody, and they got a big enough territory to take care of anyway.
And they're not really interested, if you look at their history, they're not really interested in taking over the world. Like the Mongols took over China and then they took over the world. But the Chinese people, they're like, hey, this is China. Why do we need to go somewhere else?
And look at how Japan invaded China, and that was one of the reasons that we helped China during World War II and before that, World War I, because of the fact that the Japanese invaded them and killed people and raped them. And did you listen to the president's speech last night?
No.
I did. It was good.
I got rid of my TV. I got rid of it so I can pay for Emma's cell phone bill.
Well, it's a smart thing to do. You're not missing anything. I listened to I have taken what you said about watching the news on PBS. It's much better.
Yeah.
They'll do a little bit more in depth, and they actually have different people for different sides of the story talking to one another, because they were on the radio this afternoon about NPR, and they had a Republican and Democrat talking about the speech. It was interesting because they weren't, but it is so true. The Republicans basically are like, when Obama got elected, it was like, we're going to do everything we can to make sure that he screws up or not cooperate with nothing.
Yeah.
And that's clear to me. Oh, Will's not going to run for election anymore.
Oh, yeah?
He decided he's throwing in the towel. What he's going to do after that, I don't know.
Well, Patty got mad at me over Thanksgiving for...
Yeah, but you know what? She's pretty thin-skinned because Phil. Yeah, I had heard about this.
I talked to her about it though. She
okay, because it's like,
she's just like.
Well, she should have, because when Will was in the room, I was talking to Will and to Bob, and Will said something to me about, like, you know, he started it with like the politics or something, and I was kind of like, you know, I didn't have an axe to grind or anything, and you know. And what did I say back to him? I said something about, I said, well, I like so-and-so, I like so-and-so, and he said, oh, you like everybody. And he said something else to me, and he's waiting for me to get a rise out of me. And he just couldn't figure that out. And Bob's sitting there, he says, all right, Will, he says, we know how this works. He says, we've got your game now. He says, we can't, we can't be drawn into that anymore.
I know, nobody plays, yeah.
And, but it wasn't confrontational or anything like that. And it was something else he said to me in front of Patty, and I took it the right way. He meant it in a joking way, and I took it in the right way. And somehow Patty was offended because she thought Will shouldn't have talked to me like that. So she said, I want to apologize for Will later on. And I says, you know, Will didn't say anything bad or wrong, Patty. I says, I know exactly what he meant. I says, when he said it, sort of like a joke thing. He says, and I took it that way. But I think she was on the alert when she was down there but I'll tell you what happened here. He was talking with Christopher, and Will was so totally in the wrong because he kept jabbing. And then he went up to Christopher and poked him in the chest like this. And then then Christopher like said, wait a minute, buddy, what do you like? And it's like, I was out there and I got in between the two. And wait a minute, this is as far as it goes, because Christopher was like in his face like this, holding back, like, you know, who do you think you are? You know, you better apologize. And I thought, this is going nowhere.
Veins bulging out of his
Will,
neck.
but Will made a big mistake doing that. He was wrong to do that the way he did to Christopher, the way he did it. And Christopher was right, but I thought, well, Christopher was right in what he was saying back to Will about apologizing or something, but Will wasn't handling it in the right way, so Christopher was getting like more. You know, I thought, no, this is, I'm saying, this is the end of it, no politics. You know who got blamed in all of this? Me. Dad came out and started yelling at me. I always do things like this. I make trouble. It's all my fault.
Good Democrat. Don't watch Fox.
It's all my fault.
Always turning the kids against me behind my back. Bring them in the kitchen. Talking quiet. Okay.